Well, I'd love to say whose idea was this, but it's mine. Oh, have a go out here. Oh. So, after 2.5 months of real good weather, hey, well, it's not now. Storm and flood warnings for Newcastle over the next few days, which is kind of where we're headed. Hey, geez, hold on to your hat material. Yeah. Jesus.
Go back to the cars, this is ridiculous. How the keys?
We're going to go to the lighthouse.
I'm so tired.
What's not yet, you're not, but if you try real hard. Oh, Jesus. We might have to go back and get changed before we go to the shops in Nara. Anyway, let's go and have a quick look at this thing and get back in the car. See you in a minute. Oh, that's cool. Wow, tiny rooms. Rubble now.
Wild out here.
Where are you? See ya. Yeah.
The tree.
Jesus. Well, in the Navy we used to cruise up and down this area doing military exercises and pull into Jervis Bay in the calm waters there overnight. Peepee straight in the ocean. Alright, well that's the remains of the old lighthouse. Let's get out of here. I'll read that thing to you about how it was built because it's interesting. I'm just going to read this. So couldn't hear a damn thing over that audio due to the gnarly weather we were in. What I was trying to say is, due to the number of shipwrecks occurring near Cape St. George, it was decided that a lighthouse was vital for safe navigation of coastal shipping. However, egotism, laziness and insufficient research and consultation were to have dire consequences. Two wrongs don't make a light. In 1857, the colonial architect Alexander Dawson and an assistant surveyor E.F. Milligan investigated Cape St. George for sites suitable for a lighthouse. Unfortunately, Dawson's choice of sites were largely based on ease of construction rather than the efficient function of a lighthouse. Without any input of maritime expertise, the chairman of the pilot board authorised the first of Dawson's site options. Almost immediately, the project was plunged into controversy. Despite glaring deficiencies in the planning stage and disagreement by a majority of the board, the lighthouse was commissioned on October 1st, 1860. 38 years and many arguments later, a replacement lighthouse shone its beam from the northern side of Jervis Bay at Point Perpendicular. Even the lighthouse caused navigational problems. Even unlit, the lighthouse caused navigational problems, especially on moonlit nights when the golden sandstone tower glowed in the dark. Near the turn of the century, explosive charges were used to reduce the tower and parts of the keeper's quarters to rubble. That's what I was trying to get across. Now you can have a listen to the silliness as I was trying to explain it during the storm. As Father Edward Bailey supplemented his income by fishing for sharks from the rocks below the lighthouse. In 1885, he was washed from the rocks and tangled in his line to ME drowned. Let's get out of here! I get blown back to fucking Brisbane. Alright, let's go.
Alright, thought I'd come out and have a look at Cave Beach. I think I may have been here once before. I've got a photo above my bed of a beach that I think might have been this one or something very close to this area, so I thought I'd come and have a look. Does kind of ring a bell, but boy Jesus, it's not the weather for it. Anyway, have a look. This cave. Ooh. Oh, out of the rain. Oh, this is cool. Washed up there. What's that? What is that? Oh, solid concrete. How the hell did that get in there? Solid concrete. Wow. There you go. Caves and Caves Beach. Cool. That was cool. Caves Beach. Has a cave. Check. Let's get out of here. See us.
In the caravan behind. It's always a scary feeling. What's happened, Keithus?
Well, I think nothing. We just had the caravan parked in sort of mid-turn yesterday and noticed the front driver's side wheel was on a hell of a lean compared to the other one. Like one was like that and the other one was sort of like that, and we hadn't noticed that before and thought there might be something wrong with it. So we rung around and luckily got into a caravan service place in between Kiama and Shell Harbour, and well, probably due if not overdue for a service anyway. You should get them done every 10,000. So we thought, well, we'll just get them to service it and just make sure everything's tickety-boo. So they're going to do that, which is great. We've got a bit of a leak coming in one of the windows too, but they said that's quite an extensive job too, because they don't just sort of do what I would do and just run a bit of silicone around the top and touch it up. They pull the whole thing out and make sure it's sealed and reinstalled correctly, which is another sort of 4-hour job and probably $400 or $500, I suppose, for them to do it. So we're not getting that done, but at least we'll get all the underneath sorted and make sure it's nice and safe for the rest of the trip home.
So we're without the caravan for the whole day today, so we're going to go and head to Shell Harbour.
There's not much there. We'll go back to Kiama and have a wander around.
Yeah. Kudos to the company that took us on. A1 Caravan Repairs on a whim yesterday afternoon. Called them and they were like, yep, bring it on in the morning first thing and we'll get you sorted. Really helpful company. After picking up the fully serviced van, we made our way to Coldcliff Caravan Park. We got in quite late, so not much to show you. However, we did spend the day checking out the sights. We also didn't take too many videos, unfortunately. The weather was just too windy, but we did take a few pics of the famous Seacliff Bridge and some of the great pubs we visited along the way. We left here the next day and headed to Keith's cousin's place for a catch-up and to hide from the rain. We were about to find out just how bad it was. quite an adventure we've had recently. Obviously there's been a massive weather event which has put some strains on the travel plan. So we've been holed up in Sydney at some family's property, just waiting for the rain to figure out what it's going to do. And today we decided to make a run for it. So we've come all the way from Sydney, and we are where?
Moonby Rock, like a free camp, 20 minutes north of Tamworth. So yeah, spent a couple of nights camped up in Cosy Glen's driveway. Got to catch up with Glenn and Paul and their families, which was great, and Brett, my old bandmate from back in 90s world, which is great. Hadn't seen him for 25 years, so great catch up. And yeah, just a big day today. We left Glenn's at about 8:30 in the morning, went up sort of as far as Newcastle and then through Hunter Valley, popped into winery to pick up a case that we're members of, and then basically straight up here there was a truck and car bingle on, where was it? Somewhere, I can't remember the name of the place, but that held us up for probably half an hour, 45 minutes, so we were slowly getting through that. And otherwise other than that, it was an alright drive. So I made it here just a bit munted because it's pretty stressful driving, pulling all that in the rain on busy roads.
And the potholes?
Oh, the potholes, yeah. Potholes everywhere on the New England Highway from Hunter Valley up to Tamworth. Just potholes were
horrendous.
Yeah, horrendous. I'm just constantly weaving around just avoiding potholes. So our road workers have got a fair bit of work to do there once the weather clears. So looking at the weather radar, we are there, and that's most of the crap down there. So we've made it basically above it. So tomorrow we'll start to have a look at what's doing there and whether that's continued south, and we'll just head out to the coast somewhere tomorrow. We're going to be camping from Tuesday next week at Brooms Head, which is just below Yamba, so it looks like the weather's clear there. So we'll just pop out somewhere through Grafton and maybe spend a few nights at Yamba or have a look at Tenterfield or something, and then before we get to Brooms Head. But yeah, we've basically got through most of it, hopefully. Might get a little bit more as this comes across, but hopefully that's the bulk of the rain, and we'll be in the clear, fingers crossed. Touch wood.
Also, don't trust Google Maps.
Bloody Google.
It took us off the main highway, and we should have known better not to get off the main highway, because we knew that this park here, down there, you can see that, we're really high up. We knew that this was off the highway, and yet Google decided that it wanted to send us some other way, and
to avoid Tamworth completely.
Yeah, but it was a flooded road.
Not only that, just dirt road full of potholes. It was horrendous.
So
probably the worst road we'd been on the whole trip was
Yeah.
that little. Lucky it only went for a couple of k's, but potholes everywhere. It was, yeah.
So luckily
crazy.
the water wasn't very deep, and Keith is a very, very cautious driver. We would never have driven through flood water if we thought that there was any danger.
We stopped and waited, and about half a dozen cars went around us. Two of them were Forbies, and then with just three stando two-wheel drive cars, or Corollas and stuff went through, and we're like, oh, if they're going through, it's fine then. So
Yeah.
we basically just followed them through, and it was fine. But yeah, I wouldn't have done it had I not been able to see anyone else cross it and see, that the road was fine.
Yeah. You can probably tell by the bags under our eyes that we've had a day. It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's always stressful driving in the rain.
But at the end of it, here we stand at this beautiful lookout up the top of Moonby Park, or Moonby Rock. Well, I guess this is the rock, we're standing on it, overlooking the highway that goes through Tamworth. But I mean, I'm being very brave here because that's a very big drop off there, and the mountains just look stunning.
And over there, 5 minutes ago, it looked like that.
Yeah, wow.
Positively biblical. So that was the sunset. It only turned that on for about 3 minutes, and then it was pretty much gone as the clouds keep creeping forward towards us. But yeah, that was stunning.
Yeah, so cool. Thought we'd stop, have a look at these falls. Given the amount of rainfall that's happened recently, these could be pretty full. Let's go check it out. Boundary Falls picnic in the Gibraltar Range National Park.
A bit of sparkle on that stone. When you get it in the right angle.
It's a bit of concrete painter.
No, it's got sparkle on it. Look, like quartz and stuff.
What does that say? It's a 400-metre return, 30-minute walk. Sounds like we can hear it from here. We might not have to go that far. Oh, look. Yep. Wow. Holed up here at Yamba for the last sort of 3 days. Hasn't disappointed. The weather's been great. We managed to catch up with some lovely friends, and so yeah, today we're heading off to Brooms Head, and we'll be there for probably 5 nights. Really looking forward to that. That's our last stop for our 12-week break. We on purpose made sure that we had a whole week just to kind of chill out there, and we really do enjoy here at Yamba as well. It was about, I think, $45 a night on this site here. So we're hooked up, ready to go. Brooms Head shortly. Should only be about a 45-minute drive. Looking forward to that. I'm going to spend it with my parents as well, so even better. See you later.
Last stop.
for our
Beginning of the end of the holiday.
amazing 12-week holiday is coming to an end. But good news is it's not the end of adventures. We will continue regularly on our adventures. But yeah, back to work as of Monday.
Yep.
Boo. Let's just take a minute to have a look where we are here. Where is she?